Evening and thanks for joining us. 1 week after the Boston bombings, there is news of a terror plot on Canadian soil. The RCMP say they have thwarted a plot to attack a Via Rail passenger train. 2 men are in custody charged with terrorism offenses. One of the suspects was flown into a Toronto area airport this afternoon by the police. They call it an al-Qaeda inspired plot and say the 2 men received support from al-Qaeda elements in Iran. Jacques Bourbeau is following this story for us tonight. Jacques?
Well, Donna, the RCMP has been investigating this plot for months, and it's been working with 12 different police forces and government agencies, along with the FBI. The RCMP says the target of the alleged terrorist plot was a Via Rail passenger train route in the Toronto area. The Mounties say the plan was to derail a train, and the suspects were actively engaged in scouting their target.
We are alleging that these 2 individuals took steps and conducted activities to initiate a terrorist attack. They watched trains and railways in the Greater Toronto area.
The RCMP have arrested 2 suspects, 30-year-old Chihab Essagayar of Montreal and 35-year-old Rahid Jasser of Toronto. The RCMP say the 2 men are not Canadian citizens and they were getting direction from al-Qaeda.
The individuals were receiving support from al-Qaeda elements located in Iran. The support being received was in the form of direction and guidance.
The RCMP says this investigation began last summer, 8 months ago. Investigators say while the 2 men were plotting their attack, they were constantly being monitored and there was no imminent threat to Canadians.
Now, we know from the Boston Marathon that 2 people can cause considerable carnage, but it suggests that perhaps there was not a massive, elaborate network unless there are other arrests pending.
Public safety and national security.
In Ottawa, where MPs are debating legislation to give police new powers to combat terrorism, the public safety minister said Canadians cannot be complacent.
Today's arrests demonstrate that terrorism continues to be a real threat to Canada.
Trains have been a target for al-Qaeda in the past with deadly results. 52 people died in the bombing of London's tube system. The year before, terrorists planted bombs on 4 commuter trains in Madrid, killing 191 people. Although the Mounties say the 2 suspects were getting direction and guidance from al-Qaeda elements based in Iran, they say there's no evidence that this is a case of state-sponsored terrorism. Donna?
All right, Jacques Bourbeau, thank you.